Hello and welcome to the second lesson in our hotel management system development in MS Excel VBA. In our previous lessons, we dealt with the creation of the workbook and then create our various worksheets as well as importing all the forms and models that we need to get things up and running. So in this lesson, we are going to be working specifically on the rooms data. So to do that, let's quickly launch our application from here and then we take it from there. Make sure to click on enable workbooks to have the macros run. So what we are going to do is to quickly navigate to the rooms data table in the worksheet, and then let's create the table for it. So from here, we start from here. So since the rooms are going to be numbered, so we call this room number. Okay, that's where the room numbers are going to be. Then we have the room floor. Sorry, room floor from here, and then the next one we have the category, and then that is the category of the room. Then we have the bed number from here, and then the next one we have the booking status, whether the room is booked or not, booking status. And then the last one we have the rates, the rate per day, rate per day. There we go. So now let's quickly format this appropriately. Let's just select this now, and then let's change the font to maybe Times New Roman, and then you would want to bold it, and then we would want to give it a nice background color. Take one like this, then change the font color to probably yellow. So we can just double click to extend the various columns. The width of the columns, floor, and the category is okay, bed number is okay, and then rooms, booking status, and then rate per day, this is okay. So what we're going to do is to select this, and then let's select this, select it all, and then center it perfectly. Perfect, there we go. So now we have our database up and running. So what we're going to do is let's go back to the developer, to the Visual Basic, and then let's click on the plus sign to open the forms. So here we locate the rooms data form to see how that form came about. Okay, so we double click on FRM rooms data. This is it. So now in this lesson, I'm not going to be showing you how to develop the form or create the form from scratch. If you would want to learn how to create user forms, we have all the videos in our YouTube channel. You can just check. I'll leave one of the links in the video description. Just go there and go through how to create user forms. It's very simple video to follow. So here I'm going to show you how I created these forms here. So to start with, we have the various columns we created here: room number, room floor, category, bed number, booking status, and then rate per day. You can see we have the same thing here, and all these ones are going to be taking drop down lists. Okay, we have the room number, so we need a drop down list to take the room number to pick from the drop down list. The room floor, since we are going to be capturing them inside our system by ourselves, and then we also have the category as well, and then we also have the bed number, and then we also have the rent per day, that is the rate per day or whatever. So now what we are going to see is, let's start with the room number first. Now let's double click here. First of all, I want you to see something here. Let's select the combo box, and you can see that we have the combo box 1, that is the name of it, and then here we have combo box 2, and then here we have combo box 3, and then here we have combo box 4, and then here we have that is a text box 1. So now let's quickly double click on this one here. Let's double click on the form, user form. So inside the user form, we can see we have the sub procedure, which is the user form initialize sub procedure. We would want to number or predefine our numbers for the users to choose from. So we start with the combo box 1 dot add item. So by default, we are just adding the following items here to the combo box, so that when the user click on the drop down list, it can have these options to choose from. So you can see we have room 1 to room 25. Okay, so you can choose to add more to it. You can extend it. You can choose to extend it to whatever number you wish. All of them are going to be inside the combo box 1. Now let's see how that is happening. So now let's run the form and see something here. When I click on the room number, you can see that we have them up towards room number 25. You can choose to add them inside the user form initialize option over there by using the add item module or procedure. So now let's close it and come back. So that is that. Now when you look at the combo box 2 as well, which is this one here. Let me just double click on it. This one, where we have the room floor, we've by default captured the various room floors, okay, the floors we might be having in our hotels. So with that, let's double click on the form again, so you can see it says what we are adding rooms floors details. So you can see with that one, the combo box 2 takes that. So we have combo box 2 add item. We have the ground floor, the first floor, the second floor, the third floor, the fourth floor, and the fifth floor, the sixth, up toward the 10th floor. So basically that is that we've captured that all by ourselves without any issue. So now when we click on this as well, and then we run this, so you can see we have them. So you can choose to add as many as you wish by just copying this and then paste. You can just copy this, paste it, and then you add. For instance, let's say I would want to add another room number, or I'll just copy this, Control C to copy this, yes, Control V to paste. Then I'll just make it room 26. Then I'll just save. Here, if I want to add another floor, I'll just click on this, then Control C to copy, then Control V to paste. I'm just making this one, sorry, it should be combo. So let me just add the C here. I'm just making this one room 11, okay, 11th floor. So now if I should run it now, you can see that here I should have up to 26 is there, and then here initially it was 10, now it should be 11th floor. So basically that is that. So let's double click the form once again. So we move. Now if you look at this one as well, that is the adding rooms categories, where we have this one here, the categories of the rooms. Let's double click and come back. So with that one, we are just capturing 3 items, that is single, double, or the dormitory type. So you can just add that one as well, and that one falls inside the combo box 3 dot add item. You can choose to copy paste, to edit, to add more. And then the final one, we have the bed numbers, okay, the bed number. Here we have the combo box 4, and this is it. Combo box 4 does that for us, so we capture the bed numbers. So let's click on the form once again, scroll down. So we have combo box 4 dot add item 1 up to 15. You can just copy to add more, that is the bed numbers. Maybe you may be having up to 50 beds in a room, whatever, so you can choose to add that as well. So basically that is that about the various drop down list. So now let's quickly scroll up and look at something here. Let's look at the form back. Let's click on this. You know, we have 3 buttons here, 1, 2, and 3. We have the submit button. After entering the data from here, we click on submit, and then we have it saved inside of this database here. And then we have the second one to reset the form. Anytime we enter some data here and we don't like it, we can click on it, and then we have the form reset. If you would want to close the form, you can just click on this, and then you have the form exit. So now let's start with this procedure. Double click on this one. You see I've named them. When you look at here, we have the CMD submit, and then here CMD reset, and then here CMD exit. So now when you double click on the submit, let's look at what is happening here. Here we are dimensioning, that is a worksheet as what worksheet, that WS as worksheet. Then anytime you declare a variable, you set it. So we are setting it to a specific sheet, that is what the rooms data worksheet, rooms data, where the data is going to be stored for all the rooms. So here what we are going to do is to get the values from the user form. So we are deeming new data 1 as what string, new data 2 as what string, all of them are string, new data 3 up to. So we are talking of the data we're going to be capturing. So we have the new data 1 that is coming from the combo box 1. I've already showed you the combo box 1. The new data 2 coming from combo box 2, and the new data 3 also coming from combo box 3. And then for, you know, we have just 5 fields. When you look at the form, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically that is what we are talking about. So once we have that, we would want to check if data already exists. Supposing we've already captured a room number called room number 1 here, and then we define the floor, we get the category, bed number, status, and then rate per day. We would want to check anytime we are coming to add another one, in order for us to make sure that we don't have the same room number in the same column. We would want to do some checking. It's very, very important. If it exists, we need to tell the user that, hey, this room number already exists in our database, so choose a different room number so that we don't have any issues. So that is what is happening here. Here we are checking, says what, check if the data already exists in a sheet. So in simple terms, what we are doing is to dimension this a variable we just declared called found row as long, and then the found row for now we are setting it to equal to 0. For now we assume that there is nothing there. So we are dimensioning I as also long. So what we are doing is to look through the various fields, okay? Look through the various fields. Those are the fields we define. The new data 1 is coming from combo box 1. new data 2 coming from combo box 2. So we have to look through all the various fields, this one here, this, to make sure that everything is unique. So let's come back here. Sorry. So we are going to look through all that to find if the data already exists. Then we are going to prompt the user, okay, yeah, if the data already exists, we're going to say, hey, room data already exists, enter different room data, and then we tell the user that is the VB explanation. Else it doesn't exist. So with that one, we go ahead and quickly add another or new room data. And how do we add that? We have the WS, which we've already defined as what the worksheet, that is the room's data. The empty row, the row which is empty from this particular worksheet, that is where we're going to be pouring our data from the various fields on the user form. Okay, so the first one, ws.cells. Now we are not going to be mentioning the name of the sheet again because we've already defined it as what, rooms data. So anytime you see ws, we are talking of the rooms data here. Take note of that. So the cells, that is the empty row, and then the first column dot value should be coming from new data 1. Where is the new data 1? New data 1 is actually coming from this particular one. So we are saying that whatever is here to come here, whatever is here should come to the rooms floor. So just as you can see, whatever is in the third field here should come to the third column. That is exactly what we are actually doing there. There is no any secret. So once we have all that submitted, then we say message box details submitted successfully, and then unload me. What we are saying is that close the form and then frm rooms data.show. That is the name of the form. Frm rooms data.show means after closing it, bring it, show the form again so that I can enter another data. It is as simple as that. Now when we go back to the second module here, that is the reset, what we are actually doing is anytime we want to clear something from the form, we try to close it and then load it back. So unload me means close the form. frm rooms data.show means relaunch the form. And then when we come up to the final one, that is the exit. What we are actually doing is just to say unload me, meaning close the form. So that is that. So now if we should run this form quickly, let's run it now. You can see that the form is run. What we are going to do is to choose the room number and then the floor. Let's say the ground floor, the category is maybe it's a single room there. And the bed number, we are going for bed number 1. And the rates per day, let's say it's 100 cedis. And then what we're going to do is to click on submit. See that we have it submitted here. It's as simple. Now let's go for room number 1 again. Let's go for the same details and see what's going to happen. Then we go for ground floor again. Then we go for single. Then we go for bed number 1. Then we go for rate per day, which is 100 cedis once again. So now let's see something. When we submit, it says what data already exists. So basically, you can't have the same ground floor where we have on the same ground floor we have room number 1, and then it's on the ground floor, and then also a single room, and then bed number 1. Actually, you can have single room on the down floor. Perfect. You can also have, yeah, from the ground floor you can have that, and then you can have bed number 1 as well. However, you can't have the same record for the same room on the ground floor. It doesn't work that way. If that happens, there should be some conflict somewhere. So we try to have everything to be unique. So probably if we should change this one, maybe first floor, that it makes sense. Okay, so with that one, when we submit, it will go through, because on the first floor now, which is not the ground floor, the first floor, we can have room number 1, which can be single, and then inside that room we can have bed number 1. Then the rate can be 100. So when we submit this one, we can have it submitted. So basically, that is that about the rooms data. So I would want us to format this. So let's just select this one here. You can select it up to the bottom. Okay. So let's come to the home tab here, and let's change this to Times New Roman. Then let's bold it, and then center the data. Okay, perfect. So we have this up and running. So basically, that is that. Now the next form we are going to look at is the rooms inquiry form. So now let's come back to the Visual Basic from here. Then let's locate the rooms inquiry form. Okay, so rooms inquiry, this is it, FRM inquiry. So this is the form we are going to be working around. So we can see that from here we have the bed type, which is the same as what the bed category. Then the floor, probably that can be ground floor, first floor, second floor, whatever. And then we have 4 buttons here. We have the button for searching to find out if the room is available. Then we go ahead and book it from here. But after selecting it, And then from here, we can reset the form just as you saw the previous form. We can exit the form with this button. These are the column headings where we're going to be displaying the available room after search. And here we have a label, and that label name is what? LBL C date, meaning current date. We would want to display the current date here. For now, you can see it's empty. So these are the various components we have on the form. So now let's double click on this part of the form to display the form. So now, the first thing I would want us to look at, we've already looked at that in the previous one, where we can capture the bed category and then the floor. So with that, you can see them from here on the user form initialize. So here we are displaying the current date. So lblcdate.caption, anytime we talk of label, we use the caption method to display the content in that particular label. Okay, so we have it equal to, we want to format the date to be the days, that is the day, month, and year. So now if we should run it, anytime user form is initialized, meaning anytime the user form is launched or is run, display that. So now when we run it, you can see we have the current date here matching the date of the system. So basically that is that. So we want to display that. And now here we are adding the rooms category to combo box 1. I've already explained that in the previous form. And then here too, we are also adding the rooms. These are the rooms category. And then let me see something here. These are the rooms category in the combo box 1. And then here we are adding the various let me see the form there from here. We have these are the categories, and then the floor, okay, where the floor is located, or the room or that particular room is located, either ground floor, first floor, or whatever. So now let's come back. So here we are adding those ones. We have the ground floor, the first floor, and then blah blah. We are adding those things there. So let's change this comment to what? Rooms floor. Perfect. So that we don't confuse ourselves whenever we come back to our code. So you know what is actually happening here. So we are adding those details there. Here, since you've added, we can just copy this to add the 11th one. If you wish, Control C to copy this and Control V to paste it, and then just change this one to 11th. And then from here you can have the 11th one. So now anytime we run this, we can have the various categories here and then the floors here. So perfect. So there we go. So now let's come back. So this is what we are seeing there. So now the next thing we are going to look at is this particular button here, this particular search button. Let's double click on the search button here. So first thing what we are going to do is, before we search, let me show you something. We would have to first of all choose the bed type, or the room, that is the category, the room category. Okay, this shouldn't be bed type, it should be room category. Let's change that so that we don't get ourselves confused. Let's change room category, so CAT for short. It's okay, room category. So let's save our work. So let's run the form here and see something. When we choose the room category, it's probably a single room, and then is to choose the next one, which is the ground floor. When we click on search, you should be able to display, because we have that particular room. Okay, and I'll explain to you why it's displaying here. Okay, don't worry. So before that, let me reset the form. There is some validation where maybe a user comes and the person doesn't know what to do. The person click on search. You see, it says what? Please select the bed type, that is the room category, and then the room floor from the drop down list before proceeding. So we are telling the user to select something from here as well as here before clicking on the search to proceed. That is to make sure that whoever lays their hands on their system, even if they don't know how to use it, those kind of validations will guide them on how to use the system. It's as simple as that. So now let's quickly come back here. Now let's look at what is happening there. So what brought about the validation? We are checking if combo box 1.value equal to empty and combo box 2.value equal to empty. What we are saying is that if this and this are empty, the two of them empty, we want to tell the user that, hey, please select the bed type. So we should say select the room category. Sorry, so let's change it. Select the room category. Perfect, save your work. And then the room floor from the drop down list before proceeding. So we tell the user, from there we quickly exit. We don't run the rest of the model. So we exit, and then the user have to do that before we proceed. So on error, we would want to resume next. So here we are defining e row is like end of the row equal to what? Sheet 3.cells inside the parenthesis rows.counts, comma 1.endexcel app. We are looking at the last empty row before we go ahead and then probably look through the various details from this particular sheet here. This is sheet 3. Now, when we're creating a sheet, we started from what? The home sheet, the welcome sheet, the rooms data, in that order. Probably you may decide to start it in any way. In any case, if your room data here is not sheet 3, because we are actually working from this room data here. Let me show you something here. What we are saying is that we are talking about sheet 3, and you can see my sheet 3 is what? The rooms data, which is this sheet. In any case, if your sheet 3 is not rooms data, then you would have to change the sheet number. Probably if your room data is sheet 5 by accident or whatever, then you would have to change this one to a sheet 5, because we are referring to that rooms data. Take note of that. So we are saying if combo box 1.value like sheet 3.cells I3, and combo box 2.value is like sheet 3.cells inside parentheses I2, I'll explain to you, and sheet 3.cells I5 is not equal to booked, then we would want to display that particular room and tell the user that, hey, that room is available, so display it. What are we saying here? We would want to check if combo box 1.value, we are talking of this combo box 1, this one here. If the value here, that is the room category, is equal to what we have here, that is the category here, that is the I3, the column C, and this, that is the room floor, is also equal to what we have here. These two are matching, and this column, that is the column 5, I5. We talk of the I3, you can see 1, 2, 3. So we talk of I3, that is the category, I2, that is the floor, and then I5 in the code, you saw that. And this particular column is not booked. You can see for now there is nothing here, meaning if it is not booked, what we're actually saying is that anytime the room is booked, this column will be checked. You will see something like booked inside this column. We'll be going to that model. Okay, so don't worry. For now, if it is not like that, meaning that room is available, so display the room for us. So that is what we are doing here. That is what we are doing here. So once we check and all these requirements are met, what we are going to do is to what? List box 1.column count equal to 3. This is the list box 1. Okay, let me show you something here. This is the list box 1. You can see the name is list box 1. So we are splitting the columns into 3. We are doing that in the source code. Okay, here. So we are doing that. And then here we would want to add some items. List box 1.add items. This list box 1 here, we would want to add some things inside. So how are we adding it? So we are saying list box 1.list. Then we use the list box.list count minus 1, comma 0. What we are saying is minus 1, comma 0. That is the first column of the, after splitting the list box into 3, like this. After splitting the list box into 3, where we have the room number coming from here, the bed number coming from here, and then the rent per day or the rate per day coming from here. So we are splitting it into 3. So what we are doing is that we are assigning these values here. The list box 1.list inside the parentheses, list box 1.list count minus 1, comma 0 equal to sheet 3.cells I1. Where is the I1? We are picking the bed number, this particular here, one here, the bed number, or sorry, the room number. We are picking it and then we are bringing it inside here, the room number inside the first column. It will be displayed here. That is if that bed is available after search, it will be displayed here. Okay, the room number. And then the second one we have, that is the sheet 3.cells I4. Where is the I4? The I4 here is what? The bed number. So we are picking the bed number and then we are bringing it here. And then when you look at the code, finally we have the I6. That is the last column on our sheet here, and that is the rates per day. So we are bringing that value here. We are moving the value from here and then display it inside here. That is the third column of the list box. That is what we are displaying. That is if that room is available. Now let's run it and see something here. So we click on this. Now if we try to search, it says what? We should do that. Okay, perfect. So now let's choose that single room and then let's say ground floor and search. So you can see that we have the room number, the bed number, rate per day, meaning that room is available. So that is why it is being displayed. It is as simple as that. So now let's move on. Let's come back to the booking model. So let's click on the booking model. So once you double click, we have this booking model here. So this is where the real magic is going to actually happen. So now let's look at this. Once you click on there, let me show you something here. Let me rerun the form once again. So after searching for the room here, single, brown, and search. If you click on booking, it says what? You have to select this. So we click on this, select this one before we click on booking, and we can proceed. So once we click on booking, something will happen. If that room is available, then we want to book it for the next person that is coming. So we select it and then click on booking, and something will happen. Now let's see what is going to happen when we click on booking. No, so double click on the booking button there. So what we are going to do is what you just saw. So if listbox1.list index equal -1, meaning if that data from here, what we set from here, if it's not selected, we want to tell the user something. So what are we telling the user? Hey, please select a row in the list before proceeding. So sometimes you can search and then you have a lot of rooms displayed here. Okay, so you would want to search. For now, anytime we search, we are searching for a particular room, so we only have one displayed. So make sure to select it before proceeding, else you get this message. So that is that. So on error, we resume next. So now once that happens, we would want to say for x equal to 0 to listbox1.listCount -1. What we are doing is to look through, okay, look through the listbox1, this particular listbox1 here, show you, is to look through the various columns from the listbox1 and do what? Let's come back. And what we are going to check is that frmbooking.lbl, that is a label floor.caption equal to what? frmenquiry.combobox1.value. Now let me show you something here. Let's go back. Let's run this form and see something here. When we click on this room category single, and then this one ground floor and search. So once we click on this and click on booking, something is going to happen. Let's see something. I don't want to click for you to see that form. However, let me close it and go back and show you something. Let's click on the booking. So once we do that, what we are actually saying is that the frmbooking.lbl. Now, where is the frm booking? That is what we should look at first. I didn't want to talk about it, but now we are here. Let's talk about it. This is the form, frm booking. This is the form that will display when we click on booking. Now let's go back. Sorry. Let's come back to frm enquiry. So let's do the needful. Let's search single, brown, search, select, booking, boom. So this one displays. Now let's come back to this form now, frm booking. Let's launch it and see what's going to happen there. So this frm booking, we have labels here. That is LBL floor. So the floor, the room floor is going to be displayed inside this label. And we have LBL category. The room category is going to be displayed here. And then LBL room number is going to be displayed here, bed number here, and then the rent per day displayed here. That is once we click on booking. That is what we are seeing there. Now let's come back to the frm enquiry. So now let's come back to the booking form. So anytime we click on that, we look through. So we are saying that frm booking, the frm booking, the booking form .lbl floor.caption should be equal to what? frm enquiry.combobox2.value. Listen to this. frm booking.lbl floor.caption. What are we saying? This particular frm booking, LBL floor, this particular component here, that is the LBL floor. The item inside it should be coming from, let's come back to the enquiry. It should be coming from what? frm enquiry.combobox2.value. It should be coming from here. So the room category, anytime we click on booking, the room category, which is here, either single or double or dormitory type, is going to be here. So once we click on booking, but after searching, all those things will be here. So when we click on booking, whatever is here, room category, should be taken and then brought to what? Here on this particular one. That is a LBL category. And whatever is here, the floor, should be brought straight to here. Okay. And then the room number. What is the room number? Let's click on this. The room number, the item here. Okay, the item inside the first column of the list box, the room number that is here, should be brought here. Then the bed number, which is here, should also be brought here. And then the rates per day, which is here, should also be brought what? Here. It's as simple as that. That is what this code here is doing. Once we trigger that, that is what is happening. So once that happens, the enquiry form unload me. Now this is on the enquiry form here. You can see it will close, and then FRM booking will show. When the FRM booking shows, all these items will be assigned to the FRM booking on the various components I showed you. So this is how it works. Let's run the enquiry again, the enquiry form. So when we search this and search, now it's available. So this will be moved from here to display on the next form. That is when we click on this booking. So before we do that, we select. So when we click on this booking, this form will close. That was what we saw. Unload me. So it will close, and then the booking will show. And all these things you are seeing here, single, the ground floor, the room number, room 1, bed number, will be displayed on the next form. So let's click on booking now, so you can see we have them here. Boom. This, and that. Okay, so it is as simple as that. So now we are done with the enquiry form. So we are now on the check-in form. So this is where we are going to be taking the customer data straight. Now, how do we continue from here? Let's see something. For now, I'm not going to talk about this for now. Let me go to the next item here. Let's close this form. And then let's go to customer data, because from here we go to the customer data. Let's go to the customer data. That is this one here. So what we are going to do is, let's grab the various columns. Okay, here we are going to use the first column. That is the let me see something. Yeah. A1 here. So let's start this. That is the check-in date. Check-in date. Then the column B takes what? Customer ID. And then the column C takes what? Customer ID. This should be customer ID or contact number. This one. Customer ID slash contact number. But sometimes we use the contact number as ID. So let's stretch it. And then C, column C takes what? Customer's name or customer name. And then the column D takes what? Address. And then column E takes what? Purpose of visit. Then column F takes what? Type of ID or ID type. And then the column G takes what? ID number. And then the column H takes what? Advance payment. And then the column F, sorry, the column, let me see this. Then the column I takes what? Room floor. And then, let me see this. And then the column J takes category. And then the column K takes room number. And then the column L takes bed number. And then the column M takes checkout date. And then the column N takes a total column N takes total number of days. Can you see this? Total days or total number of days. And then the column O takes rents per day or rates per day. And then P takes total amount. And then column Q takes tax. And then R takes balance. And then S takes transaction ID. Perfect. So there we go. So now what we are going to do, let's come back here. Let's select this entire column here. And then let's format it appropriately. Let's give it this way. And then we want to boldly change the font to Times New Romans. And then from here, we want to stretch the various columns a bit. Check number and this customer name. We want to open it up a bit. The address is here. Purpose of visit. Type of ID is going to be here. And the ID number is going to be here. Yeah, advanced payment, this is okay. Room floor category is okay. Category, open it up a bit. Room number is okay. Bed number is okay. Checkout date is okay. Total number of days is okay. Rent per day is okay. Total amount is okay. Tax, if there is one. Balance, and then transaction ID. There we go. Up to S, column S. So now let's go this way. Let's select the entire column, and then we want to center it perfectly. That is that. Make sure it is well centered. There we go. Customer number. Then open it up a bit. This checkout date. Open it up a bit. There we go. So now what we need to also do is let's quickly move here, and then let's number from here 1 and then 2. So let's select this and then scroll up to the last item here. That is up to S. That will give us 19. So we have 19 column. I don't want this to be formatted. Let me just select like this. There we go. So we have that. We are going to be using this number, so take note of that. So what I'm going to do is to select this column as well. Select, let me format it. Times New Roman. I would want to bold it and then center them perfect. Let me give it some blur color a bit. Color whatsoever. Probably this one wouldn't be bad. This is okay. So there we go. There we go. So now the next thing we are going to do, I think, for now, let's end this lesson here so that in our next lesson we continue with how we can execute this FRM booking models to make sure we gather all this data from here up to all what we're going to be entered here. We put them together and then submit them here. We're going to be skipping another column, which is probably from here, this one. So let's select this column here again. This column, let's select it. Let's select it here like this. And then let's quickly give it another black color, kind of color here. This is there we go. So to make sure we take care of everything perfectly, let's add some 0 here. Let's add another 0 here. Now let's select this. Let's center it well. Let's change the font size to Times New Roman. And then let's try to bold it. There we go. And then probably increase the font size a bit. There we go. Let's leave it as it is. So in our next lesson, we are going to be talking about the booking form. That is FRM check-in form. And then we proceed to the next lesson. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to save your work and see you in the next lesson. Bye.